Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? I am just doing the very final field of beans. We've got this one here to do. I've only just started this one really. I've done the one up the top there, I don't know if you can see. Can you zoom out? Can you see? Yep, you can see just up there that one has now been finished. And I've got a tractor and 2 trailers sat over there, and they're not full. I'm thinking that we'll get most of this, well I think we'll get all of this into those 2 trailers over there, so we won't have to worry about trying to find other trailers or anything like that. But mostly what I'm doing today is not going to be this. We're just going to let the driver carry on with this on his own. Before we do that, my question that I asked you all last week was, which artisan stacker would you like me to get? We're going to get square bales, and which artisan stacker did you want me to get to be picking up the bales with? Now if we just go over to here and into here, so we have the 3 bale stacker, or we have the, I went too far there, that one, the 16 bale stacker. Now this one stacks it up and takes it back to the yard and leaves it in a big stack, and then this one stacks it into 3s, and ideally you would really leave them out in the field and then pick them up with a tractor and trailer. So we had a total of 1,770 votes for it, which is absolutely amazing. And of those 1,770, 490 people felt that we should be using the 3 bale stacker. The main reason given was we've not used it before, and very few people have used it. So it's something new, it's something different. But 1,280 people thought it would be better to just hurry up and get the straw picked up and done with the bigger one and get it all back to the yard. So that is what we're ultimately going to do. However, because so many people wanted the smaller one, I will try to put the smaller one in somewhere, whether it's in the Goldcrest series or in the time-lapse series or something like that. Because there's enough of you who've wanted it, I will try to put it in somewhere. Now my question this week is a little bit different. We are now recording episode 36, is it? Or is it 37? I think it's episode 36 that we are currently recording. So we've been doing this for a while, and we've been doing Goldcrest for a while as well. I've been thinking that we will most likely finish this series first and move on to a new map, and then we'll run the Goldcrest one a little bit longer, and then we'll run that one onto a new map as well. I don't want to be starting 2 brand new series at the same time. There's still quite a bit that we can do in this series, and there's still quite a lot that we can do in the Goldcrest series as well. So with both maps, we've still got quite a lot that we can get done. So I'm thinking that the minimum amount that we will run this is to 50 episodes, which is going to take us another, I mean, if we're doing episode 36, yeah, so we'll run to 38 this week, so it'll be another 4 weeks if we run to 50 episodes. Or do you want me to run it a little bit longer? So really my question for this week is, do you want me to run the Sosnovka series up to around about 50 episodes, or would you prefer me to run it to between 60 and 70 episodes? Now I don't know exactly how many it will be. It will depend on when I want to wrap it up and what map we're going to be moving on to next. I will give you a choice of maps. It may not be the ones that you're hoping for. I know that quite a lot of you want me to do Chellington and so on, but everybody is doing Chellington, so I am going to try and find a map that hasn't been done quite so much, so that we've got some new and original content rather than just the same content being rehashed that everybody else has been doing. And that's what I'd like to try and do, is to try and have some original stuff here rather than just the same old that you can get across every other channel that does this game. And as my channel is mostly focused around this game, we do want to try and get something original here, so you've got a good reason to come and have a look at what we've got. So that is the question for this week. There will be a card up in the top right hand corner. Click on it and cast your vote. Do you want me to stop Sosnovka at around 50 episodes, or do you want me to run to somewhere between 60 and 70 episodes? It's your vote, it's your game. You decide how much longer we work on this map before we move on to another one. Right, now I'm going to, I'll tell you what actually, if we leap out here and we go and get this tractor, we'll run down and we will unload the little bit that's in the combine, and then he should finish the rest of the field in with just that one tank full. And once we've unloaded it, we're going to head back over to the yard. We've got our plough tractor. He finished ploughing that field. We've got a little bit of just tidying up to do on the headlands, and then once that's done, the 2 fields that we want to buy, fields 15 and fields 20, they are actually ready to harvest. They've got sugar beet ready to harvest on both of them, so we're going to go and have a look at starting sugar beet harvest. I don't know how much we're going to get done today, so it might be that we do a bit of sugar beet harvesting today and then a little bit more tomorrow, or I'll finish it off camera. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll have a look. But we'll just empty out this one and see how much. So we got 12,000 litres. Oh no, not quite 12,000. 11,500 litres, which is doing pretty good. Just come on round here. And yeah, I'm still not quite sure yet if we even needed the second trailer. We haven't needed it yet. We've only needed just the front trailer. So the back one is mainly just for sort of keeping the pigs, keeping them easier to feed. Anyway, I'm going to park up here and I'm going to walk back to the yard and get our other tractor. Right, as you can see, there's just some little tiny spots here at the end of the field that just need to be kind of tidied up. I mean, it's not really going to make a massive difference, but I would like to just to like finish it off and tidy the job up properly, make sure that it's finished. And you would normally have it going outwards, and you would put the rut towards, you're moving in slightly from the very edge of the field. Oh, at least that's how we always did it. We always we started ploughing on the outside when we were doing the headland, and then moved into the bits that had been ploughed, and then the cultivator going over that a few times, that would level up the lump, because the cultivator can move a surprising amount of soil around, especially when it's been loosened up with plough. Right, that's that bit done. That's all we needed to do, was just that line along there. I think down the other end is okay. That field is ready to start cultivating and ploughing, but actually, I'll tell you what. We could actually make a start on that. We could at least get the cultivator going. So if we run in here with the plough, we'll unhitch the plough. We don't need to do any more ploughing for now. And we'll get a cultivator on, which is right there. We can start that, and then we'll walk over to field 15 and 20 and make a start on harvesting those. So if we unhitch the plough and back into the cultivator. Now, because we've ploughed the field, ploughing is not the same as cultivating. What cultivating does is it breaks everything down into tiny little bits and makes it good for the seed drill to come along and sow. Now, if you've got a direct drill, you can plough directly into that. And as I've mentioned many times before, you cannot take a direct drill and plough drill into ploughed land. The way that, because it's ploughed, it leaves it in great big clods, and if you don't break that down with a cultivator before you start planting, regardless of whether it's a direct drill or not, it will just lead to trouble later in the year. It'll have all these great big clods. It'll be really, really rough ground, and the plants will have trouble taking. So lower that one down. There we go. And I'm just going to put the hired help going straight away. Let that one carry on. So that is going to cultivate that field, and when they're done, we'll probably be done harvesting our field over here as well. So they'll both finish at about the same time, and then we can put the cultivator going in there before we get the seed drill going on it. Now, I am aware that we were wanting to buy a big tractor, and we're going to get baler and everything, and if we finish this series at around episode 50, there is a chance that we're not actually going to have gotten far enough to get some of those things. But I will do the same as what I used to do in FS15. If we finish the series and we haven't bought the things that we said that we were going to buy, we will transfer those answers over into the next map, and we will make sure that we use those same things in the next map instead. Now, which one do I do? Decisions. I'll go for this one first. Field 20 is a slightly smaller one, because we are now starting to run out of time. So, we only have 38 minutes to do this one. 15,000. We have a Series 7, Deutz-Fahr. Now, I know that there are a few people that would like to see a Series 7 being used, because I am thinking of buying a Series 9 in my time-lapse series, as anybody who follows that series now knows. And a few people have been saying, please don't buy the Series 9, buy a Series 7, because they're a better tractor. I don't know, really. They've both got their merits, but quite frankly, the other one's a bigger tractor, so that's why I'm going for that one in the time-lapse series. I need a bigger tractor, but they do look very cool. They do look very cool machines. So let me come into cab, and if I go, hang on, I want to turn on the back. Actually, I don't want to turn on the back yet. I want to leave that one up. I want to turn on the front and lower the front down. Come over to the end like this. Now, I'm going to engage the GPS on this. Oop, nope, I want to leave that going. I want to go onto the back and turn that one on. Right, lower that one down. And now if I start working my way up across the field, because the way that the GPS works is a little bit peculiar, you need to kind of get yourself all completely straightened up before you set the GPS so that it doesn't sort of give you a false width on it. So now let's start it. And we'll try setting the auto width. That seems to be about right. You don't want to set it too wide, but look there, it looks a little bit narrow on that side. It does look like it's cutting in too far. So if we actually increase it, because that says 2.9. Now I thought this one was about 3.3 meters. So let's increase it. We'll go 3.2. We'll set the working width to 3.2. We'll do that and that. And I'll just have it stop at the end, and then we'll turn it round ourselves. We won't try and do anything fancy with it. I think that's okay. And we're away. A few people have pointed out that I spend a bit of time setting up the GPS just sitting still. And really, I could be doing that and moving and talking all at the same time. For those of you who don't know, I have found that if I try to do alterations to the GPS while I'm moving along, it makes the video go really, really glitchy, and I've no idea why. I cannot understand this at all. It's something to do with pressing the control button and interfering with how it's all working, but I cannot for the life of me fathom why it's doing it. It makes no sense at all, but I just know that it is doing it. So if I press Control V, it should lift them both up. Except, for some reason, the first time you do Control V, it doesn't lift the machine up. It doesn't do anything. And that's one that I haven't been able to figure out yet. So let's just come back around there. We'll turn. Come up here. But that is why I set up the GPS while I'm sat still, because then, even though the video will still glitch a little bit, it doesn't spoil the video experience for you. It was really quite bad, I noticed, when it was doing it. And I didn't like it at all, so that's why I now make sure I sit still with the machine while I'm setting up any GPS or doing any changes to it, and then we come back. So do I want to, for the rest of this field, just work up and down directly where I am, or should I go over to the other side of the field and sort of lift this side, travel over and travel down that end of the field, working in closer and closer together? I think it would actually be better, I think it would actually be faster if we were to just lift and go down to that end of the field. Because that's what we want. We want to try and get this done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Now, because of the start, we have left a little strip here, which is not ideal. But we can live with it. Right, so that's lifted out. Come flying down here as fast as we can. Maybe not quite flying. This is a big, slow sugar beet harvesting operation. You don't do a lot of zipping along too fast with it. Now, I'm going to engage a GPS now, and we'll see... Oh, actually, that's not too bad. It's just moved it out a little bit, so we're only doing sort of a partial strip down the edge of the field for this pass, but it could have been a lot worse. Sometimes it really it does push you sort of right out, or leave a great big wide strip down through the edge of the field, which is always something that has slightly irritated me with it. But I mean, obviously there's not a lot you can do with it, because the GPS gives you set widths across the field, but I mean, there we go. Right, I think I will go and I will work through a little bit of this field, and we'll get at least halfway through, and then I will see you again and give you an update on my progress. We're doing okay so far. We've got it's See, this is the one thing that always annoys me about these missions, is that you don't have anyone coming along to empty out. It'd be really cool if they had an AI helper that come along and emptied out your machine as you were going down across the field. It would make it feel more realistic. Obviously, they'd give you a bit more time for it or something like that. But anyway, we do have a lot of sugar beet. We've been bouncing along the field quite nicely. It's quite good being able to watch it from inside the cab. Being able to have the GPS going and then watching the whole operation from inside the cab is a lot of fun. It means that you can actually see the machine operating from a much more realistic point of view, because obviously this is how you would be watching it in real life if you were doing the job yourself. Just engaged that one down there and we're away. Then that one should lower down and we're in again. I'm getting used to the change as well. I'm getting used to swapping over at the end of each row. And that's the bit where you can really pick up or lose a lot of time on a job like this, is how long it takes you to switch rows, basically. And I'm starting to get used to that. I'm starting to get used to how fast I should be going. The pickup there, it's kind of realistic, but it doesn't seem to be quite the right width. It does look like, now I'm going to use... Hang on, let me just stop there a second. If I just use the... Actually, using the control doesn't actually work. I'm trying to use the left control, but I need to bring up that one and that one so that I've got the mouse. If you look here, you can see that it's sort of slightly different widths to the actual sugar beet widths, which is a little bit disappointing because it does make it a little less realistic, because those wheels there, they're supposed to go either side of each line of sugar beet, as you travel across the field. That would be the sort of the most realistic approach to it all. And the fact that it doesn't is marginally disappointing. I mean, it's not game breaking or anything like that, but it is a little bit disappointing to me because you know, obviously that's what you would do in real life. If you watch any of those machines in real life, they fit perfectly with the sugar beet, because they know what the widths of those things are when they're planting the sugar beet. And so the farmer makes sure that the seed drill is set up to set them precisely at those widths as they go down across the field. Now, I'm not actually sure, because having never driven one myself and never been involved with sugar beet in any way, but I would assume that you could also adjust the widths of those. But I don't know. So anybody that has had experience with lifting sugar beets yourselves, can you actually alter the widths on the harvester, or must the sugar beet always be drilled to a set width in order to accommodate the harvester? Which way round is it? Do you have a bit of play with the harvester? Do you have a bit of sort of leeway that you can have there by increasing or decreasing the harvesting widths, or must it all be done when it's being planted? So anybody that does actually have anything to do with sugar beet in real life, please let me know on this one, because you are definitely in a minority. There are not very many people in the world that regularly plant and have anything to do with the harvesting of sugar beets. It is much more of a specialised crop than potatoes. A lot more people will be involved with potato planting and harvesting than would be sugar beet, because sugar beet has got to be within a set distance of a sugar beet factory, I believe. But anyway, I am going to carry right on. I'm going to be working away at this field, and then I will get back to you when we are nearly finished, so that we can see just how much we're going to make. We're getting there, slowly but surely. We've done most of the field now. We've just got a little strip up through the middle left. Probably 2 passes and then the job will be complete. So I'm not sure how much we're going to get for this. I think it was 15,000 that they were offering us. So we got 15,000 euros for that. The time bonus, I would guess, because I've been fairly efficient with this. We had 35 minutes altogether. So the time bonus now, we're just under half, so maybe 5,000. So we could be looking at 20,000 euros for this. I'm not going to actually get this until the field has been planted, and I will do some of those missions myself off camera, and then rather than sort of wasting an episode doing anything like that, because we've done quite a lot of those missions on video now. So really it's time to, I think, hurry up and get these fields, because we've been waiting to get these fields for quite a while, haven't we? And I'm trying to do this by just staying right at this camera angle. It's not very easy. You really can't see very well when you're trying to line up going on doing the turn at the end. But I reckon that we'll get once more down across the field, we'll do one more turn down that end, and then as we come back up, the mission will complete. That's my theory. We've done enough missions now that we're sort of getting used to how much would be left in the field at the end. So I think that's what it's going to be. It might be. I might be wrong, though. I have occasionally been wrong before, as some of you have pointed out when I make mistakes. I like the way that you all point out when I make mistakes, because we do want to make sure things are factually correct on here. And yes, it wouldn't be factually correct to be hanging off the side of the machine like this, but we do like to do out-of-cab driving, because a lot of you like to see the out-of-cab driving because of being able to take a good look at the machinery and how it looks when it's driving along. And I do as well. I quite like being able to see what I'm actually doing here. And there we go. And that's the main reason that I started playing this game, actually, was to look at the machinery that we were driving. I know back in FS13, that's the first one that I played. I haven't been playing it since before then. But FS13, even then, the tractors and that were very good. They were well-made models. I thought they were quite realistic. And then we moved on to FS15, and the step up in quality and the difference between the machines from the one game to the next game was just astounding. I was amazed with that. And I have talked about this before. But it still never ceases to amaze me when I stop to actually think about the improvements and how realistic they are. And now with this game, this is amazing. I really don't know what they're going to pull out of their little bag of tricks next time. So we only got 4,000, but I mean, that has given us 19,000 euros. So we get 19,000 euros for that. It leaves us 63,000 euros, which is more than enough to buy this field, actually. Now then, we've got that one to harvest, which I will be doing soon. The cultivating is continuing over there. Has he finished that field or not? It looks like he's actually finished that field. The combine looks like they finished as well. So let's go over there. Excuse me, we are going to just leap across the map in a magical fashion. I realise this is highly unorthodox. We wouldn't normally do this. But we're going to get this one here, and we're going to set this one cultivating this field here. And just to finish up this episode, I think we will do this one, and we'll bring the combine. We'll bring that one back in the next episode, and we will go up and we'll get that, and we'll bring that one back down. If I put my hired help on a minute, that can run down the side here. Yeah, we will bring that one back in the next episode. And I'd quite like to do that on camera, bringing it back and across the bridge and everything. It's always quite good fun doing that. I asked you last week what you'd like me to plant in these fields. Now, those two over there, I'm hoping that we'll own them before the next harvest. And as I'm going to try and do the missions now soon to get them planted and ready. Right, now I've got to go slow here. And I'm going nice and carefully. I don't want to go too fast down into the water. This is always the precarious bit. I know that we've got some nice extra land here, but it's come at a cost. It's quite difficult to actually farm it here on this really steep bit. But that's actually really good. I really like that. I've always liked working the steeper bits and the more difficult bits of land anyway in real life. But those two over there, if I get those harvested and we'll get them planted, I might do another mission or two over there in the next episode. But then after that, I will probably do it myself, finish off and get them planted, and then they'll be ready to buy. And we'll buy them. I'm going to try and get something like wheat and barley planted over there. And I was asking people last week what you wanted me to plant in all of our other fields. I don't want to plant it all the same. And most of the suggestions, a lot of people have been saying that you want sunflowers, because I haven't done any sunflowers on this map yet. And we have the corn header on our combine, which will also obviously cut the sunflowers. So, if you take a look at the amount that we've got 15,000 litres of corn, but our pigs are growing, so we're going to still want some more corn. So what we'll do is we'll plant the two new fields, we'll plant those with corn, because we haven't planted corn up there before, and we've had corn down here previously. And then these two fields down here, we'll plant these two with sunflowers. Now, I was wondering if we could sell some beans to make a little bit of extra money, but I am thinking we'll hold on to them. And as soon as we've bought our fields up there, in another couple of hours, we're going to have another pig. And I wouldn't mind buying a few more pigs just to try and speed this up, because remember I said I wanted to get to 100 pigs before... Oh, there's my timer going. I want to get to 100 pigs before I actually start selling them. And depending on what you guys ask me to do, because also brings me to our weekly question. We are recording at the moment episode 36, Sosnovka episode 36. Do you want me to run this series to around about 50 episodes? That is going to give us another approximately 5 weeks to sort of do whatever we're going to do here, and then I will wrap it up. Or would you rather I'm going to drive up to this end and just do one down this end now. Or would you rather I ran the series to between 60 and 70 episodes? I don't know exactly how many it will be, but it'll be between 60 and 70, so that it'll run for a fair bit longer, and then we will change on to a new map. And I probably won't do Chellington. A lot of people have been asking me if I can do Chellington. However, everyone's doing Chellington. I mean, absolutely everyone across the board is doing Chellington. So I'd really like to sort of do some work on maps that haven't been quite so well known. I know that Chellington is an absolutely amazing map, but I'm reluctant to go into there with a Let's Play at the moment, because there are so many other good maps out there as well, and Chellington does get a lot of airtime on so many other channels. So I'm sorry about that, but I think I am going to have to say no to it, purely because I'd like to see something different, and I'd like to see some of the other maps get a chance at getting some, being publicised a bit. It'd be nice to see some of the other ones going up there as well, because Chellington's not the only good map out there. It's an absolutely fantastic map, but there are others that have had just as much work put into them that I would like to see shared around a bit. So I will be looking at several different maps and try and decide which one I'm going to go for. But really at the moment all I want to know is, do you want me to run this series for another 5 weeks or so, to about 50 episodes, or do you want me to run it a fair bit longer, to 60 to 70 episodes, before I change over to another map? It's your vote, it's your game. Mouse over the top right hand corner so that you can bring up the little white circle, and then click on it and you'll be able to cast your vote. That's really all I got time for today. This one is going to carry on. He's just going to do a bit here. I won't do any more missions at the moment. I probably will maybe do a bit of slurry spreading or something up there next time. I am going to bring the combine back, and we've got to see how much beans we've got. I may decide that we'll sell a load of the beans next episode, and we'll just keep a little bit so we've got some protein food, and then when we harvest our sunflowers here, obviously that's going to give us some more protein food for the stores. So selling the beans will give us a bit more money, so we'll be a bit closer to buying our next fields. But anyway, if you've enjoyed this episode, please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.